Patient Abbas, male, 23 years old, mole on the left side of forehead and left hand. While his condition remains very serious, survival will be difficult without professional medical care. Patient survivability. Once found, immediately inform. Do not give up. Stay positive. All beings are under the watchful eye of the divine, so don't ever give up.
The rest of the document has been rendered unreadable by weathering.
In case of emergency, contact the physician on duty immediately. Monday, Ibrahim. Tuesday, Wednesday, Amudi.
The remaining sections are blank.
Keep a balanced diet, rest regularly, and maintain a good mood. Monday, minty bean soup. Tanchin for lunch. Curry shrimp, panipuri for dinner. Tuesday, salad. Biryani, lunch. Fish with cream sauce. Potato boat, dinner. Wednesday, shakshuka. Bean cake, lunch. The remaining sections are blank. Medical records. Patient name, Abbas. Gender, male. Occupation, farmer. Basic status at admission. Scabby skin at limb extremities. Multiple ulcers on the back, chest, and other bodily surfaces. Weakness of limbs and poor mobility observed. Mental faculties are coherent, though there are clear signs of fatigue, poor sleep quality, and poor appetite. Doctor in charge, Amudi. Week 1 of hospitalization. New scabs at limb extremities and enlarged ulcers. The large arm seems unusable and is in pain. Mental faculties are coherent, though there are clear signs of fatigue, poor sleep quality, and poor appetite. Doctor in charge, Amudi. Week 3 of hospitalization. The scabs are scale-like and have spread across the surface of the body. There is necrosis in multiple ulcers. The patient has fallen into a coma. Doctor in charge, Amudi. Week 9 of hospitalization. The necrosis of the ulcers has been effectively kept under control, and no new scabs have appeared on the surface of the body. The patient is in a comatose state. Doctor in charge. Week 15 of hospitalization. The wound from the replacement treatment has not been healed even after a long time. No new scabs have appeared on the surface of the body. There is weakness in the limbs, and the patient cannot grasp items on their own. The patient is also experiencing fever and vomiting. Mental faculties are coherent, though fatigued, poor sleep, and unable to eat. Doctor in charge. Week 21 of hospitalization. We have managed to keep the scabs on the body surface under control, and the new limbs' functions have been restored. The patient is experiencing chronic coughing and prone to fainting. Mental faculties are coherent and in a good state. Sleep quality and appetite are decent. Doctor in charge. There are no more entries in the medical records. Doctor in charge. Status. After 20 weeks of treatment, Specimen 4's new skin and new left arm have recovered well. No changes in appetite or sleep. Mental state fluctuates beyond the normal range. There have been multiple attempts to leave the care area. God's voice guides me is cited as motivation, and the specimen is believed to have delusional tendencies. Additionally, the God's voice described in the confession is possibly related to the resonant quake phenomenon present in the internal topographic structure of the dunes. This should be investigated to rule out ungovernable input inferences. Increase supervision. Treatment protocol. The second phase of the is beginning to see results. The next phase. Objective. Specimen 4's organs. Following extensive examination, Sample 3 is the best material for the third phase of the trial, before the implementation of is required. Continuous vomiting and skin is a normal occurrence. must be prepared beforehand for Specimen 4 to maintain the circulation of. After completion of the basic operation, observe the subject for 1 week. If normal physiological activity is observed in the organs, the rate of deterioration of surface scabs is reduced, and limb function is restored. The next phase of the can commence. Physicians note: all specimens have one thing in common. Body elemental quantities were at abnormally high levels, and were positively correlated with the severity of the disease. After the experiment, body elemental quantities were reduced and samples self-reported a reduction in symptoms. It is reasonable to hypothesize that there is a causal relationship between elemental quantities and Elazar. More controlled trials will be conducted to exclude redundant variables. Note: the enrichment process of elemental quantities in humans may be dynamically sustained. After the completion of early experiments, within a short period of time, Specimen 1's physical indicators trended to the norm. In later stages, due to not being complete, the quantity of elements in the sample bodies rebounded, and symptoms increased, leading to Specimen 1 could not be recycled for materials. Information obtained. Preparations must be made for long-term trials. Cannot be stopped before the specimen's symptoms have stabilized. Due to the nature of the trial, there must be a method to stabilize the sample's mood. Removal of may be attempted. Following the new method, the material rejection rate has been significantly reduced. Specimens 2 and 3 developed mental instability due to associative connections to fundamental inequalities of intended to attribute the disease to unverifiable divine punishment, consequently considering it blasphemy to accept as treatment. It is a very interesting thought. Exploring neurostimulation and the resulting cognitive shifts could be a future research topic. Due to the above uncontrollable variables, they halted at stage 2. A shame. However, the materials provided by these 2 samples were the best quality materials so far. It is reasonable to believe that the perfect performance of Specimen 4 is related to the material quality provided by these 2 samples. Ultimately, once the 3-stage experiment was completed, Specimen 4's symptoms disappeared completely, proving that it is possible to control the elemental content of a person's body without relying on elemental power. This is potential for weaponization. Discussions of research on have to be increased in the future. Humans have unlimited potential. It may be foolish of me as a researcher to write this, but with enough input, I might be able to reach the level of a god, or so people might call it.
I can hear them all. The vicious winds of the desert, Avin's angry weeping for Hakim, the words of God. I could always hear them. All of them. First Hakim, then Avin, then Abbas. They all left, dissolving into the yellow sand, leaving me here just to suffer. But my broken mind and body can bear no more. Oh God, protector of all the desert people, mightier than the sandstorm, more glorious than the sun, I beg you, put an end to this trial. Free me, I beg you, from the scalpel of the wicked doctor, from the poisons that hurt me all over. Let me return to the fields of my home. I beg you, please. Knock, Abbas, knock harder. If you knock the right place, you can break these mud walls. Then you will never have to eat grass or lizards again. Knock, Abbas. Don't be afraid. You can get out. Don't be afraid. You can get out. Don't be afraid. You can get out. God punished me. I should have died. But now I'm hiding in this hole, living like a lizard. That evil doctor has forgotten me. and so has God. Wait in the pit that was dug, and the end will come, just as he will eventually return with his 7 glorious apostles. When that time comes, there will be no more suffering. Hakim and Naveen will return to their beloved Aru village, and little Abbas will have all the sweets he wants. And I, Dunes, Sumter Beasts, home. Will Mom and Dad be waiting for me when the end comes? They are still healthy, so they should... They are still healthy, so they should be in the fields. They shouldn't. I don't want to die. Are you still listening? King of all the children of the sand. We have been punished with Elazar because we were lazy and wasted the precious fields God gave us. I accept this. God, if you are still willing to accept this unworthy believer Abbas as your own, please show yourself to me. Speak to me once more. I do not want to dissolve into the yellow sands, not yet.